to my channel. I'm Victoria and I talk everything hockey from across the pond in Scotland. For today's video I am ranking NHL team jerseys from the 2024 to 2025 season. These are just my personal preferences. I think jersey designs are very subjective. I love jerseys. I have a substantial collection of hockey jerseys. So big in fact that the section of my closet that was dedicated to jerseys before got too full and I had to take a lot of them out and put a lot of them away in storage. And that section is still full, even with a lot of them packed away. So it's fair to say, I love a good jersey. I think they're so fun. I think hockey jerseys are the ultimate sports jersey. I love myself some baseball and some football jerseys, but nothing quite compares to a hockey jersey in my opinion. So any excuse to talk about hockey jerseys, I will take. So today we are going to rank every NHL team's jerseys from this season currently. I'm going to include home, away and alternate jerseys. Before we get started on the ranking, please make sure to subscribe to my channel for lots of hockey commentary and content, and also like this video for more content like this. And let's get into ranking NHL jerseys. Okay, so I have my 5 categories. Now, bear in mind, this is just my personal opinion. Feel free to disagree with every single one of my takes in this video. I want to hear it down in the comments. This is just what I like in a jersey. What everyone likes is very different, and I have like very particular jerseys that I absolutely love, as you will come to see. So, you know, I'm not saying that these are objectively the best jerseys, they're just my personal favourite, so feel free to leave your own rankings down below in the comments. But anyway, we have 5 categories and I'm going to give them more fun names because S, A, B, C, etc. is just too boring. So top category is going to be the GOAT, the greatest of all time, and to keep myself disciplined, I'm only going to allow myself to put 3 team jerseys in this category because I love NHL jerseys and I don't think any are particularly bad. I definitely have my least favourites, but I honestly could easily fill up the top kind of 2 categories or top 3 categories with all the jerseys, but I'm going to make myself be a lot more disciplined so the video is actually a proper ranking video. And so the GOAT category, only 3 teams are going to be able to be in that category, no more. The A category is going to be top shelf, just absolutely fantastic designs, logos, colours. Maybe their third jerseys are really good, etc. belong in top shelf. B is going to be neutral zone. The jerseys which I feel quite impartial on. I don't dislike, I don't like, they're just sort of in the middle for me, they're fine. C category is going to be OT loss because, like in overtime, you came really close, but not quite. The jerseys that I like less, I don't really dislike, but there's something about them that doesn't appeal to me. And the D category is going to be no Lord Stanley for you. Obviously absolutely nothing to do with cup wins, otherwise my team would be in this bottom tier because I'm a Leafs fan, in case you didn't know. But just teams that I just personally don't like their jerseys for whatever reason. It's just my own, what I like, this is not it. So no Lord Stanley for you in Victoria's NHL team jersey ranking. So I've uploaded them all below and they are in alphabetical order of team, like not location, of team, because it's the way I had the files saved. So first up are the Colorado Avalanche, and immediately we're off to a strong start because I think Colorado have fantastic jerseys. I think their colours are just amazing, they're quite unique. And I think their logo is one of the most innovative in the league. I think it perfectly sums up the location of Colorado. As soon as I see these colours, I know they're Colorado colours and I think that makes a great jersey. So even though they're not the greatest, because I already in my mind know who's going to be in that category, they are definitely top shelf, elite hockey jerseys. Next up are the Chicago Blackhawks. Now I know obviously this is one of the most iconic jerseys to some people. I also know there's been some controversy over the logo. My personal take on them is that I feel kind of impartial towards them. I don't absolutely love it the way that a lot of people do, but I also don't dislike them either because they're obviously very iconic in the hockey world. So I know people are going to hate me for it, but for me personally they go in the neutral zone. I feel like people might not like that, but that's how I feel about them. Now next up are the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'm actually not too sure where I'm going to put them. They're definitely not my favourite at all. I think the logo's really good. They're very patriotic jerseys to me, like they scream America. I like the fact that there is like a C sort of hidden in their logo. I think that's pretty cool. But there's nothing stand out about them to me. I'm going to put them in neutral zone because I think there's some things about Columbus's brand that's really cool, but when I think about Columbus and cool features they have, I don't really think of their jerseys. I think of the cannons in the arena. I think that's a really cool effect they have. So for me, they're kind of just in the middle. They're definitely not one of my favourites, but I don't dislike them at all either. I think they've got good parts. Next up are the St. Louis Blues, and of course in this year's uniform they have the Winter Classic jerseys, which I actually felt a little bit underwhelmed by, personally. And equally so, I should have mentioned it for Chicago, but I actually am not overly impressed by either of the Winter Classic jerseys this year. I don't think there's anything particularly stand out about them. I feel like the Seattle Kraken in last year's Winter Classic really set a high bar for Winter Classic jerseys because I think theirs was just absolutely amazing. It really captured Seattle hockey heritage in it. I think they looked really good, they looked really effective. They just looked like what Winter Classic jerseys should look like to me. And for me personally, neither Chicago's nor St. Louis are doing the same for me. And it's a shame because I love Winter Classic jerseys. However, St. Louis's normal jerseys, I like the logo a lot. I love the music note. I think it really is good at summarising what St. Louis as a place is all about. I don't love the colour scheme though. As you will come to see, I have a little bit of an issue with certain blues and yellow type toned jerseys. There's something about them that I personally just do not like. I don't know what it is, I can't explain it. Just in my mind, it doesn't aesthetically please me the way that other jerseys do. So I'm a little bit stuck as to whether they should be in OT loss or neutral zone. I feel like I'm just going to fill up neutral zone really quickly, but I don't know. I really like their logo, but I don't love their colour scheme. So I'm not sure how to feel. I'm going to put them in OT loss, which might be a little harsh. It might be a little bit harsh because I don't hate them at all. But there's nothing about them that I'm like, oh, I love that, you know? Next up are the Boston Bruins, one of the most iconic uniforms in the league, obviously. They've gone back to their regular uniforms after wearing their Centennial jerseys last year, of course. I actually prefer the Boston Bear logo. I think that is Boston's best, like, jersey concept, logo, etc. I love the bear logo. That's definitely my favourite. So this one isn't my absolute favourite, but of course it's absolutely top shelf. There's no doubt about it. Boston have one of the best jerseys in the league. Very standout colours, a logo that I feel like everyone really recognises. I think all of the Boston sports teams have got really good branding. I think all of them do, and the Bruins are no exception. Next up, we have the Montreal Canadiens, and as a Leafs fan, it pains me to do this, but they're in the GOAT category. I don't care. They are hockey jerseys. Like, when I think of hockey jerseys, the Habs jersey is absolutely one of the first things that comes to my mind. They are a total classic, and I feel like it would be a discredit to hockey as a sport to not have them in the GOAT tier. I love them. I love them. I think they're amazing. I think the colours are great. The logo, I know that as Leafs fans, we make fun of it being a toilet seat, but ultimately it is classic, it is iconic. These jerseys can't be anywhere but in the GOAT tier. They can't be. Next up we have the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, Carolina, I feel like they missed the mark in some way with the potential for their jerseys, because I think being the Hurricanes is such a cool brand, and I don't feel like they make the most of it. And I know the logo is really simple, and simple logos can be really effective, but for me it just doesn't quite hit the mark. And then I also don't love the white with the canes across it. It's just a knockoff of the Rangers, so it kind of bothers me. I do like the black and red. I think that's a great combination of colours, and so that gives them extra points. But I feel like there's just nothing about their jerseys that really just hits the mark for me with the potential that they could have. So they're going in OT loss, because apart from the colours being really good, I feel like everything else could be far better. Next up, the Vancouver Canucks. Now, obviously Vancouver are using their skate logo jersey as their third, and I think that is Vancouver's best logo. I love the skate logo. I think it's fantastic. Their normal jerseys I think are really good. The colours perfectly tie in with Vancouver's whole theme of like, you know, the sea type thing. I think it has to go on top shelf. I think they're too good to not go anywhere else. If it wasn't for the third jerseys being the black with the skate logo on it, I would feel more neutral on them, but that one jersey really bumps up for me. Next up, the Washington Capitals. Now Washington's regular home and away jerseys I don't particularly like. I don't think there's anything to stand out about them. When I think of great hockey jerseys in my mind, theirs doesn't spring to the front of my brain. However, they've brought back the Screaming Eagle jersey this year, and their Screagle jersey is amazing, and it's probably my favourite of Washington's history, and I absolutely love it. So I'm tempted to go top shelf just for the Screaming Eagle logo, but I feel like because their regular home and away jerseys are quite underwhelming to me, I have to keep them in the neutral zone. The Screagle logo though is really, really good. The New Jersey Devils, again, they have a very simple logo, the same as what Carolina do, but I find New Jerseys to be really effective. They also of course have the Jersey jerseys as their third, which I just think are really funny and I like. I really like the Devils brand. Again, they've got the same colour scheme as Carolina and the simple logo, but they execute it much more effectively in my opinion, so they are top shelf. The Anaheim Ducks. So Anaheim have revived their original Wild Wing goalie mask logo. It was first introduced in 1993 and they have modernised it, which their best logo obviously. Changing it to that D duck foot kind of logo did not do it for me. Of course they've moved that logo to the shoulder patches now, which I think looks far better. I think they look really good. My only issue with them is that there's a little bit too much orange. Like when you see it as a whole uniform with the shorts and the helmets, there's a lot of orange and it does take away from it a little bit for me. But I love their logo so much that it has to go top shelf. I love the old goalie, I love the goalie mask type logo, I think it's amazing. It gives me Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th vibes. I'm a massive horror movie fan, in case you didn't know, and it's like the only NHL jersey that features a goalie mask on it, so there's always bonus points for that. I do wish there was slightly less orange, but the jersey itself, when it's not as part of the whole uniform, I think looks amazing, even with the orange, so I think it definitely belongs in that tier. The Calgary Flames. Definitely one of my least favourite logos in the whole league. It's very basic. I don't really feel that great about it. I do like their colours, like I think the kind of orangey yellows go really well together and I do like it, and I think when they're on the ice it looks amazing. Their alternate jerseys this year are pretty good, I do like them. They're definitely in one of the bottom ones for me. I just think that logo is way too basic and it really puts me off. I do like the colours. No, I'm sorry, I'm going to be really harsh here and say no Lord Stanley for you, because I do need to put a few in the bottom, and there's only one which is my absolute least favourite jersey in the league, and aside from that I feel like I'm going to struggle to put any in there. But to make this an actual proper ranking video I have to put some in the bottom tier. So Calgary, just because I think your logo is way too basic, I'm sorry, but you're in the bottom tier. The Philadelphia Flyers, another orange jersey. I do quite like their logo, I think it's pretty good, but again, like when I think about really good jerseys, if I was just to think about ones that subconsciously come to me first, it would not be Philly. Do like the black and the orange because my football team, or soccer team if you want to call them that, is Dundee United, and they play in tangerine and black, and so these do low-key remind me of that. So apart from that sentimental value, I'm afraid there's nothing there that does it for me, so OT loss. The New York Islanders. I know immediately where they're going. As I said, this is not me saying that objectively these are the best and worst jerseys and brands. I'm not saying that. This is just how I personally feel about them. I can't state that enough, but they go in the bottom tier for me. I don't like the Islanders jerseys. I don't like blue and orange when it's certain shades of blue and orange, and the Islanders have exactly the shades that I don't like. Their logo is okay. It's fine. But it's nothing standout. So I'm sorry. But, you know, my least favourite pictures of John Tavares are him in an Islanders jersey. I don't like the jerseys that much. Sorry. Next up are the Winnipeg Jets. Now, I do much prefer the logo where the J in Jets is a hockey stick. I think that's pretty good. I'm not overly a fan of their normal like jet with the maple leaf behind it thing. I like their colours. I think their colours are pretty good. I'm going to go OT loss because they're like almost in kind of the more neutral zone. I'm just not, I don't know, I'm sorry, they just don't do it for me. I'm trying to justify it, but there's some of these jerseys that I just don't like looking at as much. If that makes sense. Now, ones that I do like looking at, the LA Kings. I love the fact that they've brought back these jerseys this year because this logo is far better than the other like crown logo. They've gone back to their 1990s uniform this year. It's a throwback to the Wayne Gretzky era. I think they're fantastic. I love the colour scheme. The silver is really unique. So top shelf, absolutely. Next up are the Seattle Kraken. The only NHL jersey that is not a Leafs one that exists in that closet over there. But it's not mine, it is my mum's. My mum is a massive Seattle Kraken fan, so I am slightly biased towards the team, of course, but I honestly think they have one of the best like brands in the whole league. I think everything their branding and the creative team does is just stand out. Like, I can't think of anything that I think they've done badly. Amazing, absolutely top shelf. I mean, obviously stark contrast to, you know, the original 6 teams who have these like very iconic logos that throughout time have existed. Seattle, I just think, have a really clean look. I think the colours are perfect. Again, similar to Vancouver, you know, it's just perfectly on theme with what they were going with. I absolutely love Kraken jerseys. I love them. I think the logo is really effective and really good. I think the colours are amazing. I love the anchor like symbolism they've got going on. Elite jerseys. And then to go in the complete opposite direction for my personal best to worst, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning, who go right in the bottom. They are absolutely categorically my least favourite jerseys in the whole league. I hate the fact that they have picked the same colours as Toronto, even though they are a much newer team than the Leafs. It's the same shade of blue. I absolutely hate that. Why could they not have just picked a slightly different shade of blue? Now, I know there are other teams in the league who have the same colours. I understand that. Pittsburgh and the Bruins obviously have the same colours. The Habs and the Rangers have the same colours. There's just something about how similar the colour is, and also the fact that I think their logo is so basic that makes them my least favourite jerseys in the league. Don't like when we play them and that I can see they've got the same colour scheme as us, and it really bugs me. They are definitely my least favourite in the whole league. So yeah, absolutely no Lord Stanley for you, and you're not even close to it. The Detroit Red Wings, oh, such an iconic jersey, iconic colours, iconic logo. I love the wing logo. It's been so consistent throughout Detroit's history. I can't decide whether it should be in the GOAT or in top shelf. It's definitely one of the two. It's no lower than that. I'm going to go top shelf just because there's a couple other jerseys, original 6 jerseys particularly, that I do like more. I love original 6 jerseys, in case you can't tell. I quite like retro logos and retro jerseys. They're definitely my favourite overall. Detroit, very, very close to being in the GOAT category, but yeah, there's just some I like slightly more, so top shelf, but unreal jerseys, of course. The Edmonton Oilers, okay, I'm probably going to catch some like flack here because I know a lot of people love Oilers jerseys, but again, they have that like orange and blue similar to the Islanders that I can't stand. I'm going to put them in OT loss because I do think their logo is pretty cool. Like, I think they have quite a cool logo. Also, before anyone comes at me and says that I'm like just hating on like other Canadian teams, I have really kept, I would say, my personal bias mostly out of this tier list so far. I have the Habs in top place, for God's sake. The team that is the arch rivals to my own, okay? So yeah, I'm sorry Edmonton, it's an OT loss for me. Next up, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I mean, obviously they're not going anywhere but in the GOAT. Maybe my own bias has come into play there, I don't know, I don't care. I think it's one of the most classic jerseys in the whole league. There's not a single Leafs logo that I don't like. I will say, the flip side jerseys are still not my absolute favourite, and they wouldn't be my ideal third jersey, alternate jersey for the Leafs. Mainly because I notice when you're watching on TV, I feel like sometimes you can't read the back quite as well. just given the way that the flip-side jerseys look. I would like to own one day, but they're not a priority out of Leafs jerseys. I want to own like a replica of every Leafs jersey as far as I can eventually. That's like a life goal of mine. And these ones are not like top of my list. Like there's other, I want the St. Pat's jersey first. I had to pause there for a second because my memory card actually got full, so I had to switch that out. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, the Leafs alternate jersey, this flip side one, is definitely not one of my favourites. But overall, I just think the Leafs have, you know, absolutely one of the best uniforms ever to exist in the whole of hockey. Of course I'm biased because they're my team, but I think they're the GOAT. Next up are the Florida Panthers. I think Florida's are like fine. I quite like the colours. I think the logo's good. I like logos with animals in it, to be honest. I have a soft spot for those as a massive animal lover. There's nothing overly stand out. To be honest, they're neutral for me. I feel quite in between about them. The New York Rangers, immediately, they are taking my final GOAT spot. I love their jerseys. I personally think their best jersey isn't one that they're using this year, but it's the one with like the Liberty logo on it. I think their Liberty logo jerseys are their absolute best. I love those. However, very iconic with the Rangers written across it, whether it's their usual logo. I just think it's a classic hockey jersey. They're so clean. As you can tell, I like jerseys that have got like historical relevance, I guess. Like, it was always going to be original six teams that were in my top tier, just because they are like personally my favourite. I know some people think that it's overrated to go for original six teams, but they're the original six. There's a reason they're so iconic, you know? And the Rangers absolutely take that last spot. So I can't put any more in the GOAT tier, which is fine. From what I've got left, I don't think I would have put any of them up there anyway. I think Detroit were probably the closest to coming into the GOAT tier. Another original six team, of course. So yeah, definitely New York Rangers GOAT tier. The Dallas Stars. Their logo's quite, I don't know, it's given the same as Calgary's logo. It's quite like bland, like there's just nothing stand out about it, like it's fine. The green, I love their home green. I think that's great. I am on the side with the alternate jerseys that I don't like the neon green. And I know that these are love or hate. I personally don't like them. I'm going to put them in neutral just because I do actually like their home jerseys quite a lot. I think the green looks really nice when you see it on the ice. But their logo and that neon green doesn't really do it for me. So I can't put them any higher than that. The Ottawa Senators, again, another team, but I absolutely love their logo. I do like the red and black. I like that colour combination, it looks great. This is what I was meaning about Carolina. I love their colours, but for me their logo lets them down. Whereas Ottawa, I think their logo is really good. Yeah, I would say top shelf. Love the way they look when you're watching them on TV. I also liked their jerseys when I saw them in person, so yeah, 100%. Top shelf. The Nashville Predators. Oh, now, again, this sort of colour combination doesn't really do it for me. I do like the logo. Again, you know, the animal logo, kind of cool. There's nothing too stand out about their jerseys, and there's nothing stand out about them this season either. So I'm probably going to go neutral. Just, I feel like out of the sort of yellow and blue colour combinations of teams, Nashville's is definitely my favourite of them, and I think their logo is also really great, but I struggle to put them any higher than neutral zone. I don't think they're as good as the ones that are in top shelf, so I'll keep them in neutral. The Pittsburgh Penguins, great hockey logo. I know that Pittsburgh actually have quite a significant following over here, and some people do genuinely pick it, one because of Crosby, etc. Obviously they've had like a great period during the time where I think hockey's kind of got bigger over here. So Pittsburgh definitely have got like a substantial following. I know loads of Pens fans that are from the UK, like so many. Probably the team that I know the most British people that support personally. Like I think I know more people from here that are Pens fans than any other NHL team. So I see this logo a lot. I see it around our own arenas over here. I think the logo is really great. I like the black and yellow. Top shelf. Top shelf. Not as great as the Habs, the Leafs or the Rangers, but still Really, really good. Next up, the Minnesota Wild. Oh, do you know what? If I had a 4th spot in GOAT, they would definitely be up there. Yeah, do you know what? Even more than Detroit, Minnesota would definitely be up there. But there's none I want to switch out, so they'll go in top shelf. Minnesota. Their logo is genius. The fact they have the face, but the landscape designed within the face, chef's kiss. The colours are perfect in all of their jerseys that they're wearing this season. That forest green in particular, perfectly on brand. It looks so, so good. I just think that Minnesota have one of the best jerseys in the league. They would definitely have that 4th spot. If I was going to bend the rules, it would be for them, actually. Even more so than the Red Wings. I love Minnesota's jerseys. I absolutely adore them. They look great on the ice. They look great like when I see like off ice like photo shoots and stuff. I really, really like the Wild's branding and jerseys. I think it's, you know, top tier. Really good. The Buffalo Sabres, another team with this colour combination that I am not a great fan of. I don't really have a strong opinion on Buffalo's jerseys this season. I do quite like that 3rd jersey they've got with like the actual Buffalo's face on it. I think that's pretty cool. I think I'll put them in neutral. To be honest, they'd be an OT loss for the normal jerseys, but I really like that 3rd. I think that's a really, really nice jersey. Because the logo's fine, I don't mind it at all. The colours, they're just not for me. They're just not for me. You can see like the pattern here that, you know, what colour combinations I like versus don't like. Just my personal preference. Next up are the Vegas Golden Knights. Now this is actually a funny one because if you'd asked me this a couple of years ago, I would have had them in top shelf. But the more time goes on, the less I like Vegas's jerseys. I don't know what it is. I kind of like, you know, I feel like it's very representative of Vegas because it's got like the kind of glittery gold. And I do kind of like that. But their logo, I've grown to like dislike slightly. And I don't know, my like of those jerseys has lessened over time, which is a little bit weird. I'm almost, I'll go neutral zone just because I think the gold ones are really good. But I don't like the whites, and it's weird because white roads are usually, like white road jerseys are usually my favourite. No matter what team it is, I love white jerseys. I think white looks so clean and nice when like they're on the ice playing. I love the way white jerseys look. But for some reason I really don't like Vegas's, and I'm almost tempted to put them in OT loss just because of that, but I don't know, it actually could go down to OT loss because I'm quite indecisive on this one. You know what? I think I'm going to actually go down and put, will I? I don't know why this becomes so difficult. No, I'll keep them in neutral because I don't dislike them to the degree that I dislike some of the ones in OT loss. Next up, San Jose Sharks. I like their logo. I think their colours are pretty cool. But for some reason, I like always forget about the Sharks jerseys. I think about jerseys a lot, like probably more than I should. And San Jose's is never one that pops into my head. I like the unique colours. They're the only teal team really in like the league. Them in Seattle have got the most similar colours, but theirs is still, you can tell Seattle picked a different kind of blue. It's more like a duck egg kind of blue rather than teal. So San Jose are really the only like teal team in the league. So I do like their colours a lot, but for some reason I do like their logo. I don't know what it is. They should be in top shelf, but they just don't like spring out to me as jerseys that I would like often think about and stuff. So I'm going to keep them in neutral because even though there's a lot I like about them, I don't feel like I can put them in top shelf because I don't like them the same way that I like all the other ones in that tier. And finally, last but not least, we have the Utah Hockey Club. And I know a lot of people obviously are annoyed at the fact that they're just called Utah. I personally don't mind that for an inaugural year. Obviously the PWHL had like the place names before they actually brought out their proper brands, and I didn't mind that either. I love the colours. I think the colours are really good. Again, like they've gone for that sort of similar to the Kraken, but it's still different, and that's my issue with the Tampa jerseys, because these other teams, like some of them have got similar colour palettes, but you can still immediately tell like which one is which, even from looking at like it from like far away in a tiny little picture. Whereas I think if you're to like squint, like you wouldn't be able to like tell from a distance, like take the logos out of it, you wouldn't be able to tell what was Tampa and what was Toronto, and that really bothers me. But anyway, Utah, I love their colours. I think they're going to have a great brand. I actually don't mind the Utah Hockey Club thing. I know that's kind of like a hot take. I'm going to go neutral because I really like the colours a lot, so I don't want to put them in OT loss. I think the colours are great. I think they've got a really strong brand that they'll be able to build on in the future. And I obviously don't like the Utah like across the way type thing. Unless you're the New York Rangers, I don't want to see that. But you know, this is just like their inaugural jersey, and it feels unfair to put them on, like, I guess anywhere else, to be honest, because it's not going to be their jersey forever. So I'm going to put them in neutral. I do like their colours though, and I see the potential, I see the vision, and I like it. So that is my final ranking, and I'm looking over it and I am actually happy with it. I really am happy. I definitely would have Tampa at the bottom, and I think Calgary and the Islanders would be my other dislikes, 100%. And my goats are absolutely the Habs, the Leafs and the Rangers. That's, yeah, I feel really happy about this ranking. I don't think there's anything that I would change. So yeah, that's what I think of every NHL team's jerseys in the 2024-25 season. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your favourite jerseys in the NHL right now and what are your least favourites? Also, what is your favourite third or alternate jersey? Mine for this season is definitely Washington's. I love the Screaming Eagle one, so let me know your thoughts. Once again, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and also follow me on my other social media. I also post a lot on X or Twitter, whatever you call it, and also on Instagram quite a bit, so I'll probably pop them up somewhere on the screen. I don't know what side I'm going to go for, so follow me over there too. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon with more hockey chats from across the pond. Bye guys.